What's going on YouTube? You guys already know who it is. It's your favorite man, Mr. Tyree Grants, coming back to you guys with another video. Would really like to appreciate if you guys like, comment, subscribe. If you guys are new to this channel, it really helps with the algorithm and gets me higher and more recommendations. And if you guys are people that have already subscribed to me, very humble, and I appreciate that. You know what I mean? But today, we're gonna get into this conversation, and I'm gonna tell you guys the number one phrase a woman will use. And you guys are going to hear this because if she ever uses this phrase, I think it's time for you guys to go, like running. So I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I'm gonna get straight to the point. If you guys are ever dating a woman or you're getting to know a woman, and at some point she starts saying, "We'll see where it goes," "We'll see where it goes," it's a sign that there's a 90 to 95% chance that it's not going to go anywhere. Is it possible that it can go somewhere and turn into a relationship? Sure, right? Anything is possible. I'm not saying that this phrase is an end-all be-all, which means that it's not going to go anywhere, because there are people, I'm pretty sure, that are going to say, "Hey Tyreek, you're stupid. I've heard that phrase before," and it's turned into a relationship, or it went where I would like it to go. Now, for you people, that's great, but I think from my own experience dating and from talking to other men, I would say 90 to 95% of dudes I've talked to, I have asked them that phrase or heard them say it in some way, shape, or form. A woman has said, "We'll see where it goes," and it doesn't work out. I feel like for me as a man, and like I said, I can only speak on this as a guy, but normally when a woman says, "We'll see where it goes," it's almost like she's saying no for the most part, but she doesn't know how to say it, or she's having some reservations, or she's having doubts. Basically, what it tells me as a man is that she's either A, not really invested in the connection that you guys are forming like that, B, she's scared of the connection that's forming between you guys, or C, she just doesn't know how to tell you no. You know what I mean? That she's really not into you, but she's trying to, psych herself up and say, "Oh, maybe I can get into him." You know what I mean? But if a woman is saying, "We'll see where it goes," then that means that you're not really a priority in her life. You know what I mean? I feel like if a woman really wants you, she won't say, "We'll see where it goes." She's more optimistic. She's more like, "Okay, we're gonna make this happen," or "I'm gonna," she'll phrase it differently. She'll say "Okay, I like you, I like getting to know you. I'm gonna keep this thing going because I like where this is headed." She'll phrase it in nice, better terms. You know what I mean? If she's saying, "We'll see where it goes," then basically she's saying, "I'm not really sure," and that's at best case scenario. At best case scenario, you're 50-50, and that's best case scenario. But for most scenarios, she's really saying, "I'm clinging on to this because it's all right, I guess, but I'm damn near out the door," right? So most women now that I'm realizing, if they're saying these phrases, then that means that they either got other dudes as well, or like I said, maybe you're just not that interesting to them, or maybe they don't, maybe they're just not feeling it and they don't know how to tell you. A lot of times men don't know how to get rejected gracefully and just walk away. So sometimes women have to phrase it a little bit differently. And if you're a woman and you do it like that because you're afraid of men, I can totally understand your reasoning. But if that's not the case, just be straightforward, transparent, tell a man how you feel and just say, "Hey, I'm not feeling it," or "I'm not interested." If you feel, safe and comfortable enough to share that information, because honestly, I've heard that phrase, "We'll see where it goes," a lot in my life from dating. And from my own personal experience, I have been in relationships, so I'm just gonna say that. But every relationship that never went anywhere, or any connection that never went anywhere, the woman had always said that phrase to me. Almost everyone I've ever talked to that it never went anywhere, they always say, "We'll see where it goes." Now, I'm not trying to push an agenda or push them onto me or nothing like that, but I'm just saying I've noticed a pattern. I've noticed a pattern in my life. Usually, every woman I've ever talked to that said that phrase, it just doesn't go anywhere. And I believe it's, maybe they're just not into me, but at the same time, I do believe that they already kind of know they don't really want to date you, or they know that they're not interested in you, or they know that this is not something that they really want, and they don't know how to phrase it. or maybe they're just not ready to date, or maybe they realize they're not ready to find someone or whatever. So at the end of the day, that's their prerogative and their decision. Um, but if you are a guy and if you hear a woman say, "We'll see where it goes," and you're getting really invested in them, my biggest advice and tip to you guys is slow it down. Like, if you get to a point where she says that to you at some point and you're still connecting, then just slow your feelings down, slow your thoughts down, because there's a high probability it's probably not going to go anywhere. And the more invested you get, the sooner she realizes that she's not feeling you, the more upset and hurt you're going to be. So just slow it down and take your time and just let her come to you. Just let her come to you. And if she's feeling it, great. But don't get too excited. That's the biggest tip I can give you guys. Don't get too excited too early. Don't get your expectations super high. And if she's saying we'll see where it goes, if I was you and I was in your position, I would still talk to her, because like I said, you never know. It can go anywhere. But at the same time, try to take your emotions and take a backseat, because that's not a good sign. Anytime you hear that phrase, I'm telling you guys, it's not a good sign. And just prepare for the reality that it might not go anywhere. Because, yeah, I mean, that's just what it is. I feel like that's definitely a term nowadays that people say, but I feel like most women nowadays know that at some point it's not going to go anywhere, right? But they're trying to trick themselves into thinking it will. But anyways, there you go. There's me ranting. But if you guys made it this far at the end of the video, I would really appreciate if you like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, I'm still growing, trying to figure out how I'm going to keep this thing going. And I would love your feedback in the comments. And yeah, until the next video, this has been your favorite boy, Mr. Tyreek Rants. Peace.